Not surprisingly, costs have gone up since our last projection several years ago.
To say costs have gone up is putting it lightly. Now at 6, how many more billions of dollars project leaders say the new Interstate bridge will now cost coming up.
Plus, as the partial government shutdown drags on, PDX now accepting donations to support TSA agents working without pay. The items they're asking for and where to find the donation bins ahead in a live report.
And fire crews in La Pine jumped into action to stop this wildfire before it spread. We have the details on that, plus a look at how U.S. Forest Services are preparing before this year's wildfire season starts. Coming up later this hour as your News at Sunrise starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Wednesday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchick. Glad to have you with us. Rod Hill and Chris McGinnis standing by. We've made it to the midweek point. Rod, it sounds like we've got another pretty good day in store.
We do. I remember, to me, the biggest headline of this week was the fact that we thought we could hit 60 or better every single day, Monday through Friday. And so far, that's intact. And for today, this kind of meandering fetch of rain that yesterday came down, just clipped Portland. Now it's back well to our north. Will stay to our north. So we have a dry day. And assuming we thin the cloudiness out for partly sunny skies, temperatures will really get a big push this afternoon. Here's the Vancouver, the Springs of the waterfront camera. Some breaks in the cloud cover, 47, another comfortable start overall. Downtown Portland from the Rose City camera, 49 degrees. So here we go to the bus stop. We'll call the mix of cloudiness out the door. Well up into the 40s, dry 56 at noon, and then mid 60s today when the kids get out of school, and temperatures for Portland could get up to about 67 this afternoon. Beat that with your traffic report, Mr.
I can't. I can't. And that's awesome. That's good news for everybody about to hit the roads as well. We'll start off, we'll zip around town real quick and zoom in over to the west side. Highway 26 out near the Sylvan Hill. Looks like we're moving along just fine. In fact, just fine. You've got lots of elbow room out there. I-5 near Capitol Highway looks good as well, and the drive times are rolling along at a speed limit clip. We're still dealing with some impacts from last week's atmospheric river. Fern Hill Road floodgates still down south of Forest Grove, a notorious high water spot, and so that's still a no-go. And of course, we have a section of Cornell Road up in the West Hills still closed as well. China, Matthew, back to you.
Thank you, Chris. The historic Columbia River Highway has reopened following a landslide last week. Ongoing rain caused the hillside to give way, closing a section of the highway. As conditions improved, crews inspected the hillside and cleared debris in order to reopen the highway. ODOT says it's planning more repairs in the coming months. All right, now to new developments in the Interstate Bridge project, where we've learned how much a replacement bridge is going to cost.
Yeah, going up just a little bit. The total price tag has gone up significantly since discussions first began. Now, the updated official cost is at more than $14 billion, with the new completion date pushed all the way back to 2045. Now, compare that to an initial estimate of just $3.4 billion in 2013. It was then updated in 2023 to $6 billion. But leaders now say replacement has to happen amid growing safety concerns, warning that delaying any longer will only make the cost go up more.
It's outdated, it's vulnerable to earthquakes, and it was built on timber pilings down in the sand. We like to say it's like pretzels and chocolate pudding.
Now that we have the green light to begin the next stages of the bridge, there's no time to waste.
The plan is to replace both spans of the bridge, rework some interchanges, add some bridges to access Hayden Island, and extend the light rail into Vancouver. Right now, construction is set to begin in 2028.
If people can't be quiet and have to ask people to be removed.
Tensions high at a Portland City Council hearing last night as leaders discussed banning law enforcement from wearing face coverings. Now, opponents are mad this ordinance doesn't apply to federal officers like immigration agents, but city councilors don't have the authority to do that. The goal is to help people tell local police from federal agents. There was no vote last night. And keep in mind, both Oregon and Washington state lawmakers approved their own legislation that does prevent ICE officers from wearing masks.
Debate on a new voter ID law known as the SAVE Act kicked off in the Senate yesterday. The bill requires prospective voters to use a photo ID that proves citizenship, like a passport or enhanced driver's license.
Republicans argue that while voter fraud is rare, the bill would strengthen trust in elections. Democrats, meanwhile, say these documents are often expensive or hard to come by, effectively blocking low-income voters from casting a ballot. Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley has come out strongly against the bill.
This bill is not about stopping non-citizens from voting. It's about stopping citizens from voting and doing so to rig the next election.
The bill will need 60 votes to pass the Senate, and Democrats have made it clear they will block it.
As the partial federal government shutdown continues, some TSA workers are still showing up to work without pay.
Yep, and here at home, there's a way to support them. Donation bins now set up at PDX to help those workers get through this tough stretch. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson is live at PDX this morning. Corey, so how can people help out?
Yeah, good morning, Matthew, China. Right now, it's pretty simple. You know, the donation bins like this one here are set up in the main terminal near the stadium stairs. And so these are the donations right now that have been set here early this morning. And really, as we mentioned before, hundreds of TSA officials, TSA agents working without pay currently. And so these donations here go a long way. And right now, what they're collecting are non-perishable food items like canned goods, snacks, rice, and pasta, along with household essentials like soap, detergent, and toothpaste. Now, gift cards, $25 or less for groceries or gas, are also being accepted, but they're not taking things like cash, clothing, or large household items. Now, the impacts of the shutdown are being felt in more areas also. TSA agents saying some smaller airports may have to stop serving commercial flights and passengers as the agency is stretched to its limit currently. And some larger airports also face hours-long security lines.
A lot of them are not calling out because they're wanting to call out. A lot of them are calling out because they can't afford the gas to come to work.
It's not hyperbole to suggest that we may have to quite literally shut down airports.
Now, airport officials say that effort really is about supporting the workers and those behind the scenes. For those planning to travel, you're not going to see any wait times, but if you do want to come to the airport and make donations, these are some that have been placed here currently. We've got some pasta, some canned goods, other items, some pop here. And so really, airport officials say donations like these will go a long way as that shutdown continues. Matthew, China.
Corey Johnson reporting live from PDX. Thank you, Corey. Your time now is 6:07. A Marion County man is recovering in the hospital after being shot by sheriff's deputies at a home in Salem following what they described as a hostage situation.
State police who are investigating say a person called 911 just before 7 Tuesday morning saying they were being held hostage in a house on State Street. And when deputies arrived, they had some sort of altercation with a 39-year-old man identified as Juan Carlos Gomez Valles. State police say he was armed with these two knives you see here. At least one deputy fired and hit the suspect, who was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. We spoke to a woman who lives across the street and heard the shot.
There's like a lot of noises, so sometimes kind of block it out until something like that, an incident like that, then being like, oh, okay, so that's probably what it was then.
So what did it sound like?
Kind of like a bang.
State police say the two deputies involved were both recruits with less than 1 year on the job. They were not hurt.
In Beaverton, police are looking for more potential victims of a man accused of abusing minors. That's after a Washington County grand jury indicted 26-year-old Joshua Del Lago right there on 19 criminal counts involving 9 victims. Court documents say from 2019 to as recent as this month, he would loiter near Sunset High School, provide drugs, including meth and marijuana, to underage female students and sexually abuse them. Anyone who may have had contact with him or information related to this case should contact Beaverton Police. And a reminder, if you or someone you know is a survivor of sexual assault, know that help is available 24/7. You can call the National Sexual Assault Hotline at 1-800-656-4673.
Well, it's 6:09 this morning, and before we get to Rod's forecast, we are taking a live look at our Pioneer Courthouse Square Skycam, where, Rod, the bricks are dry.
They are dry. And the bricks are going to be, I mean, they're not going to singe your fingers or anything, but they'll be warm in the sun this afternoon.
Oh.
Well, I mean, that makes it sound like it's going to be perfectly clear. We're hoping to get partly sunny skies. It looks like Portland's going to be on the edge of some cloudiness. And as you drop to the south through the valley, you just get sunnier and sunnier and sunnier. But this is a day that in many ways I think will rival what we did on Monday. 46 getting into 8 o'clock hour, mid-50s, 11 a.m., 61 at 2 o'clock. Monday we hit 68 at PDX, 70 though in downtown, 67 at 5 p.m. Partly sunny skies. And by the way, today is the first day that we actually will have more daylight minutes than darkness. Sun up at 7:17, not going down till 7:21. Again, the spring equinox is Friday, 7:46 our time. And you know, the spring equinox is largely billed as the 12 and 12 day. But remember, the Earth is not perfectly spherical, so it's within minutes of 12 and 12. And we're actually now seeing day one on this Wednesday of more daylight than darkness. Okay, after I've been chatting for seemingly ever, here are the temperatures. We've got 42 in Salem, 52 in Silverton. Everybody's dry. The weather map today, oh my goodness gracious. Look at the 70s. Pendleton, John Day, Burns, Bend, Eugene, the Dalles. Rain chances are probably even north of what I show on this map. It looks like the rain largely is going to continue to push northward away from us today. May get clipped with some rain tomorrow as the main rain area starts to push southward a little bit. And then we still think we'll have likely passing rain during the day on Friday with that front coming due. The first day of spring, 60 the high, and then a dry weekend, partly cloudy, about 57 degrees each day. That is your forecast.